Okay, we're recording. You ready for it?
Dad goes first.
Hey everybody, this is Dr. Ryan. This is your 5 minutes of fire this morning, and I got my crew with me.
Hello.
And today's a special edition. We're up here at our cabin, and we took the weekend just to kind of do some vision casting for our life. You know, every now and again, probably every 2 to 3 months, Erin and I try to get away. And now that our kids are a little bit old enough, or a little bit older, we feel like we can start bringing them along to kind of include them in the process. But one of the things that we like to do every couple of months is just vision cast for our life. You know, I think too often we're just reactive. We just let life happen to us, and then we wonder, how did we get here? You know, we don't have the life that we want, but we're not exactly sure how we got here, and we're not exactly sure, you know, what it is that we do want. Most people just say, I don't know what kind of life I want. I just want something different or something better. So it's been a really fun practice. We've done this for years now. In fact, we started in chiropractic school 8 years ago, and we had this giant whiteboard in our apartment, and we wrote down every little thing that we wanted to see, what our practice was going to look like, how many patients we were going to see, what we were going to be collecting, what our family was going to look like, where we were going to live, what we were going to do for fun, the types of vacations we were going to take, the giving and the contribution that we're going to make with our church and our community. And it's awesome. I mean, probably 90 to 95% of the things that we had originally put on that whiteboard 8 years ago have come to fruition. And I believe that it's just because we made a declaration basically to ourselves and therefore to the world that, hey, this is the life that we want. This is our vision for our life. And it doesn't mean that, you know, you just sit around and say, oh, I want $1 million, and then you just expect it to show up on your doorstep. No, it's like setting the thermostat for your life and setting a course of action. But if you can define it, then every day, you know, even subconsciously, I think you're going to make decisions and find opportunities that are going to be congruent to that course that you set for your life. And so we still do this to this day, you know, because we don't have it all figured out. We don't have it all perfect either. And you know, God's blessed us beyond belief, but we have a lot of learning to do, and we feel like now we have this platform where we can make an even bigger impact in the world. So we still use the same principle. You know, we get together regularly to talk about, you know, hey, in your perfect life, what would it look like? What would your day look like? What would our vacations look like? What would our giving look like? What would all these different things, finances? And it's a lot of fun because you just get to kind of sit around and dream. So like this morning, it's raining on us a little bit now, but it was actually really sunny. We were even trying to get some vitamin D on our bodies. But you know, we sat down with a piece of paper and our coffee and just looked out at the lake, and we just talked about, you know, where do we want to go next? What do we want to do? What do we want to accomplish? And it's really life-giving, and it's really energizing. And what's cool is now, you know, we're able to kind of teach these principles to our daughters, and then eventually the big guy here, so that they can you know, kind of walk in our footsteps, so to speak. And we just know this stuff because we've learned from people smarter than us. We've just been coachable over the years. So I hope that helps you today. Your 5 minutes of fire is, you know, get away, do some kind of vision casting retreat for yourself. Whether, you know, if you're single, just go get a hotel room, go camping, go somewhere, even overnight, and just get out a blank piece of paper or a whiteboard and write down exactly what you want your life to look like in a dream scenario. And even if it doesn't take you, or even if it takes you 8 years, you know, at least you're setting a course of action and you've got a clear target in your life. Guys, anything you want to add?
Do you want to add anything?
No?
Yeah, I think it's amazing, you know, for a married couple especially to get together, even if you're not in business together, or you don't work together, you know, just creating that vision for what you see in 10 years, 15 years in your relationship and for your family. And that's just very life-giving for me. When I know that, you know, in this season of my life, when I'm home with my kids more and Ryan's, you know, still running our practice, and we don't see each other quite as much as we do in the slower seasons, you know, it's always nice to have that vision and something to really look forward to. So it was a good weekend for us.
Yeah, and it's good practice for course correction too, because, you know, every quarter or so, Erin and I try to do this type of thing where we'll think big picture, you know, are we where we want to be? Where are we headed in the next year, 3, 5, 10? But also, like, you know, what's happening on a day-to-day basis, and is that congruent to what we want our lives to look like? You know, do you have what you want? And if not, you know, so we ask each other, like, do you have the perfect life right now? And if not, how can I help you get there? What can I do to help support you in that? Is it our marriage? Is our marriage, rate our marriage on a scale from 1 to 10. Rate your fitness, your personal life, your hobbies, your contribution in the world. And then we can sit down and say, if it's not a 10, or if it's not, at least something that's acceptable, how do we work together to get there? And then we can kind of plot out our life. And I know it sounds kind of like, oh, you guys go and have a business meeting for your marriage. It kind of is, I guess. And, your business meeting should kind of sound like this too. But it's more life-giving. It's more like we get to dream together, and then we get to take those dreams and put them down on paper and then create action steps to try to get there. And then we can plan our lives on a weekly basis to be congruent to that.
Yep.
So, again, I hope that helps you. We're getting rained on, so we're going to peace out. Have a great week.
Bye.
Say bye. All right.